everybody, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to my hospital series. For those of you that may be new to my channel, I was just released from hospital on August 26th, and I was in the hospital because of my depression and anxiety. So I have so much to share that I have decided to do a hospital series, and I'm just going to go through in each video something different, explain different things and so on. So today is going to be my first video, and it is going to be what brought me into the emergency room and my stay in emerge. So I have suffered from depression and anxiety for about 7 or 8 years now, and because of it, I stopped working. I get a pension now every month. I've pushed people away. I've caused a lot of problems with it. Just when I had it under control, my mom passed away, and that was a huge trigger for me. I found her in the morning. She had had a massive heart attack during the night, and she was gone. And my mom was my best friend. She was my last living parent. She was everything to me. And she was gone. So, and that was 2.5 years ago. And it's been a tough go this whole time. But on, I think it was July, ironically it was July 26th, Dan had found out that I had started cutting. And when he found that out, he wasn't angry, he was scared. He's like, what can we do? What can we do to fix this? And I just cried. And there was only one thing I could think of to fix it. I snuck off with a bunch of pills, and he found me just before, and he was like, this is it. This was the final straw. And he took me into the emergency room. So that's what brought me to emerge. So now our emerge department, it's an ER. In Canada, we just call it emerge. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. We just like to shorten things, I guess. I got to emerge, and I had to go through triage, so I had to see the first nurse who registered me, and then I had to wait for the triage nurse to see me. So I'm still crying, I'm still a mess, I'm scared to death, I have no idea what's going to happen to me. Like, I'm picturing like padded rooms and all this jazz. Obviously that wasn't about to happen. But the triage nurse took my vitals, she took my information, she found out what was going on. She put it all into the fancy smancy computer and asked me to just sit in the chairs in triage for a couple minutes. So Dan and I sat down. There's no way Dan was leaving me. I wasn't letting him leave me. So that couple minutes turned into 4 hours. So we had gone in around 9:30 at night. So at 1 o'clock, Dan had to work the next day. So I'm like, Dan, you gotta go home. You gotta get some sleep. I said, if you can, message my family, message Ashley, just let them know what's going on. Typically, I wouldn't expect anybody to get these messages until the morning. Because it was 1 o'clock in the morning. Ashley got the message and she didn't take it so well. So everybody else was fine. They wanted, let us know what's going on when you know. So Dan came back and I started crying because he was back. And about 10 minutes after he came back, I finally got called in to what they call the Rapid Assessment Zone, or RAS. Well, let me assure you, there's nothing rapid about this zone. Nothing. We sat there until, it was about half an hour. And then a social worker came and she took me, and for 45 minutes I listened to her ask me questions. I felt like I was being judged. I was given many options. I was almost feeling like I was being tested on what I was saying, and it was very uncomfortable. It was horrible. Tears were constant. So finally we go back to Dan. She wants to talk to Dan now. So she makes Dan take any and all medication out of my purse. So he does. I had Advil and clonazepam in there, so he took those. They went and talked for probably about 20-30 minutes, and then he came back. She talked to us and was going to recommend a form me, and that I was going to be staying. So to form somebody, what that means is that the doctor feels that you are not safe, that you need constant supervision, that you can't, basically you can't be trusted to be in your room. And he did that to me. He put me on a 72-hour form, which meant I was staying in the hospital for 72 hours. And then at that point they would reevaluate. If I was to be formed again, it would be a 2-week form. And a form is a legal document. So that means I cannot leave the hospital. I cannot leave my area. I have to have a security guard at all times. It's pretty crummy, basically. So after she talked to Dan, she talked to the doctor. Doctor came and talked to us and agreed, and he was very nice. He asked me what, if I was comfortable with being formed, if I felt I needed to be formed. I'm like, probably. So that's what happened. I was formed. So now that we knew I was going to be staying there, Dan left to go home and get some sleep, because at this point it's about 3:30. So he goes home, gets some sleep, updates everyone, and then meanwhile I'm still sitting in the waiting room. I was there for about half an hour. They took blood work from me, and then she found me a bed. So I had a bed. In the middle of a merge where it's crazy. So I didn't sleep. I just laid there. I rested, but I didn't sleep. Well, that was pretty much Tuesday going into Wednesday. So Wednesday, I was still up. I was still in my bed. They come in and say they need to move me into another room. I'm like, okay. So I grab my stuff. I didn't have really anything, just my purse, really. And I moved into another room. Once I'm in that room, I'm thinking, wow, okay, it's like a single room. I can do this for a couple days. This is okay. No. Once I'm in the room, I'm told that somebody else, another patient who's waiting, will be joining me. And, we have to share the bed, and they'll bring me another chair so that one of us can use the chairs. So that's exactly what they did. They brought in a woman, an older woman. Her name was Wendy. And yeah, we got to know each other. We cried together. We ate the crap food together. It was a joy. By the end of that, they come in and say, okay, Wendy, we have a bed for you upstairs on the psychiatric floor. So up she goes. I'm still there. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to take the bed. I'm going to try and get some rest because this is my chance. No. At this point, it's nighttime. And I was asked to move. They needed the room for a critical patient. So I'm like, okay. So I moved into a waiting room. So at this point, it's nighttime. It's time for me to go to sleep because I haven't slept now in like 48 hours. So I was like, okay, I'll wait here and just hopefully I'll get to bed soon. Well, Dan comes in because I was sitting there for about an hour and I'm exhausted. I haven't slept. I haven't really eaten much. I'm terrified and I'm sitting in a tiny little waiting room. So Dan comes in and he just tries to calm me down and he sits with me. So I ended up spending 2 hours in there. At that point, I'm like, I have to sleep. I grab my pillow, I grab the blanket, and I lay on the floor. Not even kidding you. I'm down there for 30 minutes. I didn't sleep, but I was down there for 30 minutes. 30 minutes later, I had a bed. Not on the floor, but in Emerge. I was so tired, I literally fell asleep instantly. Like, I was exhausted. I don't even remember, like, damn leaving. Like, I was done. I was so tired. So now it's Thursday, and I'm still in Emerge. I wake up, I felt more rested, I got my pills, it was okay. Breakfast was disgusting, but I ate it because, yeah. And then I'm informed after lunch that, because I went back to sleep after breakfast, so I'm informed after lunch that I've missed my psychiatric doctor. Like, why didn't he wake me up? I don't know. And then I'm being moved again. Yep, I'm being moved again. So I get moved. I get moved into a single room. Now, this would normally be very exciting, but no. It had a video camera, so I was being video monitored constantly. It had, I was stuck in my bed for the first little bit. There's no bathroom. I had to go use the bathroom that they provided. Security guard had to find me, like had to follow me, sorry. And I would go to the bathroom in a room that was completely stainless steel. The toilet, the sink, the floors, everything was stainless steel in there. So I went to the bathroom, I ran back to my room, security guard sat outside my room, and then all I'm hearing is people yelling and banging and screaming horrific things. And oh my goodness, I was petrified. I was legitimately petrified. So they took all my stuff, they locked everything up, I had nothing to do. I'm just about to try and go to sleep, and I'm told I'm being moved again. I'm not even making this up, guys, again. So this will be my 7th move since I've been in Emerge. So I get moved into it's like a cubicle, so it's just a bed, but all the curtains go around, right? So, it wasn't too bad. It was just me and 2 other people. But they gave me some medication and I was able to go to sleep. So now we're into Friday the 29th. So this is day 4. This is the day I'm done my 72-hour hold, if you will. So I wake up, there's people on either side of me, they seem really nice. As the morning was going on, I noticed things starting to disappear. Patients, the 2 on either side of me were left, they were gone. I don't know where they went, but they were gone. The nurse that took care of the 3 of us was gone. Most of the nurses in the nurses area, gone. Haven't seen a doctor. I'm starting to get a little uncomfortable. All of a sudden, a resident comes by, tells me about my form, tells me that it's lapsed, and this is the point where, you know, he either forms me for 2 weeks or he pretty much leaves it alone. Well, I'll be honest. I was honest with him. I said, I don't know how comfortable I feel. I don't think, like, I don't know what's going on. End of the conversation, he did not form me again. No more forms. So now, at this point, I'm a voluntary patient. Yippity-doo. So he leaves, and now I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting there, and my lunch comes, and I can't even tell you the grossness of it. I still have my security guard. He was just about off shift, so he decided to just stick around. He got me a sandwich since there were no nurses. And then after lunch leaves, I start getting extremely anxious, agitated. There is nobody around. I am on my own, literally. Like, there's no nurses in the nurses thing. My nurse was gone. The patients were gone. And all I could hear was the violent psychiatric patients slamming themselves against walls. I started to cry. I was emailing Dan. I'm like, you know what, this is insane. Like, I can't do this. No one's here. I don't even know if I'm going to get my meds. Like, I was legitimately freaking out. Finally, just before I go to sleep, noticing a trend here? I have 3 security guards that say that there's a room available for me now on the psychiatric floor. Okay. Get all my stuff. I have to get it out of the locked locker because you never know. I might hurt myself with a crayon. So I get up and lo and behold, I have a private room. Whoa. I'm like, okay, so this makes up for 4 days in Emerge. I can do this. This is great. So I had to drop my stuff off at the nurse's station so they could search it. And then she showed me my room, and then she took me into this little tiny interview room where she continued to interview me and ask me the same questions that everybody has asked me since I got there. So I go through that again. She says, okay, go to your room and I'll check on your bags. Half an hour later, she comes back to draw blood, take my blood pressure, and all that stuff. I'm like, are my bags done? I didn't really have that much stuff. She's like, oh yeah, I'll bring them down. 20 minutes later, they come to, we're into like midnight now, guys. Like, she brings me all my stuff. So I start putting stuff away. And I realize I don't appear to have a bathroom. This is weird. Okay, so I throw my bathroom stuff in my closet thing, and there's a bathroom directly next door to me. So I was like, well, okay. I found out I was sharing that bathroom with like 7 other men. And I was the lone wolf. And they always left that damn toilet seat up. And I'm clearly outnumbered, so I didn't really say anything, but, you know, annoying. So I was able to get some sleep, and the following few days, unfortunately, it did not work out in my favor. It was a long weekend. It was the August long weekend here, which is the civic holiday. I don't know if you guys get that in the States or not, but yeah, we had the longest long weekend. So Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, I had to eat literally whatever was sent up for me, which was not always good, and I had nothing to do. I wandered the halls, I got to know the place, I did word searches, I colored, I read a book. It was brutal. But Monday is when all the fun started, which I will get into more in tomorrow's video, or video 2. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow. We'll see. But yeah, so that was my very uncomfortable stay in emerge. It made me worse. It made me more anxious. I was scared all the time. It was a horrible experience. It really was. Being moved so many times. And I started to think this was normal. But once I got up on the floor and started talking to people, they were like, no, this is not normal. So, yeah. I don't know why I got so lucky, but I did. Now, with all of that being said, I don't want to say, you know, that the nurses were horrible and the doctors were horrible, because they weren't. They were doing what they needed to do and what they were told to do, and the nurses in the emerge were awesome. They were very helpful. You know, they were nice. They weren't scary or anything like that. So that was all good. And I know I'm probably going to get this question. The 72-hour hold, was that why I was in emerge the whole time? No. I actually asked that question because it made sense, because I was there for just over 72 hours. But no, even if you're a 3-day hold, you still go up to the psychiatric floor, which is floor 7, is how we call it. So that was just kind of a coincidence. It didn't intend to happen that way. So, yeah, it was very hard. It's very stressful. I had stress on the outside from a friend. And I do want to say this. Being suicidal, you know, cutting yourself, for me, I cut myself to take the pain away from my heart and my brain. I just wanted to feel something different. I wanted to feel something else other than the horrible pain that I was going through every single day, and I was going through it pretty much alone. I had Dan and my family, but I don't know that anybody can really understand it. I don't wake up every day and say, okay, I'm gonna try and hurt myself. No, it's moments. It's when you're tired of trying to deal with it, and the feelings that lead to that is what the problem is. If someone you know is struggling with anxiety, depression, you know, you think they're not safe by themselves, just get them help. The best thing I ever did was go to emergency that night. It was also the scariest thing I've ever done. And in a way, it was embarrassing, because people are looking at you like, why is she here? Is she you know, they'll overhear something, and then why does she have a security guard with her constantly? People make judgments on what they're seeing, and that will always happen. But personally, I've learned to stop doing that, because you don't know what that person's been through. You don't know how hard of a time they've had. You just don't know. You don't know. So, if you know someone who's struggling, help them, okay? Encourage them, talk to the families, you know, whatever you think you need to do. And if you're struggling from it, which I know a few of you are that watch me, there's no shame in getting help. None at all. If you think you're going to hurt yourself, go to emergency. Go to the ER. Get some help and get your brain kind of fixed. Because that's kind of what I did. So, tomorrow, I am going to talk about kind of the details of the psychiatric floor, what it's like, what it's kind of set up like, the rules that we had, and my meals. I'm going to talk about that. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you for all of your support. It means the world to me. It really, really, really does. So these videos are only going to get better, trust me. Unfortunately, it is me just kind of blabbing on for like half an hour, but I hope that this will help you guys and help you see kind of what's going on. So that's it for today. So stay tuned for tomorrow. The next one will be up. I've already decided I'm doing it. So thank you so much for watching. If you're new, please subscribe to my channel. I don't always do these kind of videos. I do cleaning videos, organizing videos. I do daily what I eat videos. I do weekly weight loss videos. So I do videos like crazy, and I love it. And I love you guys. So thank you again. And if you are new, please subscribe, like this video if you liked it. And of course, as always, comment down below. I love seeing your comments. So thank you everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.